The word for snakebite in Hebrew sounds a lot like the word for interest in Hebrew. We'll get to that in a minute. Welcome to Parshat Mishpatim, a collection of laws, including some rules about banking. This parsha talks about the laws of slaves, the laws of manslaughter, the laws of kidnapping, of injuring a parent, of personal damages, of forbidden magic, of idolatry, of holidays, the laws of stray animals, the laws of violent animals, and the laws of lending money. Last week we received the 10 Commandments. This week we receive another 53. After escaping unfathomable suffering in Egypt and leaving in a whirlwind of plagues and miracles, the Israelites finally reached Mount Sinai. Amid thunder, smoke, fire, and an entire mountain trembling, they heard the voice of God. Soon, they're going to hear about interest-free loans. It seems pretty anticlimactic, and yet you could say that the entire Torah rests on these monetary laws. How can the entire Torah be grounded on whether or not we charge interest? And what does that have to do with snakes? Don't worry, we're getting there. The Torah says, "If you lend money to my people, to the poor among you, do not act toward them as a creditor. You may not charge them interest." Let's break this down. If you lend money to my people. In Hebrew, the verse begins with the word im, which means if. Rabbi Yishmael, one of the sages of the Talmud, the oral tradition, says that everywhere in the Torah that the word im is used, it's a choice, with the exception of 3 places. This is one of those places. It's not if we lend money, but when we lend money. Helping others isn't an option. It's a requirement and a necessity. To the poor among you. What does this mean, among you? People who need help are not separate from us. They are us. When someone asks for help, imagine you're the one in need. Do not act as a creditor. Don't treat the other person like you're better than them because you lent them money. You may not charge them interest. Here's where the snakes come in. The word the Torah uses for interest is neshech. Interest, neshech, is kenishikat nachash, like a snake bite. A tiny snake bite she may not even feel as the poison spreads throughout her body, but days pass, the leg swells, and she gets so sick she might not even recover. Same thing with interest. Interest is like a snake secretly attacking a bank account. When someone wants to borrow money, whether it's to help buy groceries or maybe to go to school or buy a house, and they have to pay back just a little more money than what they borrowed, it starts as a small little bite. He may not feel it at first, and he might not even notice it, but slowly it swells, increasing bit by bit, requiring him to pay more and more and more money, making it nearly impossible to ever come out of debt. It's not only the Torah that's grounded on whether or not we charge interest, but our entire society. The real measure of a community is based on how we treat others. When someone asks to borrow money, do we use that as an opportunity to help them? Or do we use it as an opportunity to help ourselves and make ourselves rich with tiny little bites of interest? Because if we, who suffered in Egypt for hundreds of years, don't know how to show compassion, then we receive the Torah for nothing. We're no better than the Nachash.